To start this makeup look, I'm going to go ahead and use my Urban Decay Primer Potion to prime my eyelids. Then going in with my Lorac Pro palette, I'm using the light pink shade to set my entire eyelid. I am going for an intense look, hence the pink shade. If you didn't want something so dramatic, I would suggest using a white or a lighter pink as your base. Next, going in with my Buxom Dolly's Wild Side palette, I'm going to use the pinkish brown shade and put that in my crease. So I forgot to actually show the color, but it's just from that same Lorac Pro Matte palette. I'm just using the burgundy shade to further deepen my crease. Now, using the black from that palette, I'm just going to go ahead and place that all over my lids. I am kind of putting it on a little bit messy, but I'm not too worried about it as I'm just going to be putting glitter over the black anyways. Now I'm just blending the crease and the lid colors together. Now I'm using Makeup Revolution's Aqua Seal Primer. I'm just going to use that as an adhesive for the glitter and apply it directly onto my brush. I'm taking NYX Loose Glitter and pouring it into the cap so that I can dip my eyeshadow brush into it. I actually found it easiest to pour some of the Makeup Revolution primer into the cap and then mix it around with the glitter before I applied it onto my lid. Now I'm just using makeup remover on a cotton pad. I'm using that to remove the excess fallout under my eyes, and I'm also using it to shape the outer corner of my eye into a wing. Going back in with that Buxom palette, I'm going to use the lightest shade to highlight my brow bone. I'm just using the brush that comes in the palette to place it under my brow bone, and then I'm going to use my finger to blend it out. I'm using my L'Oreal Infallible Spray to go ahead and set my face. Using my Bliss Explosion foundation and a damp beauty blender, I'm going to go ahead and put some of the foundation onto the sponge and then dot it out onto my face. Once I have it dotted out onto my face, I'm going to go ahead and blend it in using dabbing motions. I really don't blend it for this long every day. Just for the concert, I wanted a really seamless, well-blended look. Taking my NYX HD concealer, I'm going to use that to highlight under my eyes, my forehead, and down the bridge of my nose. Then once I've applied all the concealer, I'm going to use my beauty blender again to blend all of that out. Then I'm just using some NYX concealer on a Real Techniques foundation brush just to cover a few pimples because I was breaking out that day. Then, using everyone's favorite setting powder, I'm using Laura Mercier's translucent setting powder just to set wherever I highlighted, and I'm going to use it to bake. I find that using my damp beauty blender is the best way to apply the powder, as it puts it on in an even and relatively thick way. Then I'm just using an eyebrow spoolie to brush through my brows, remove any excess product, and comb them so it makes it easier for me to apply product. I started doing my brows on camera but then finished it off camera. I feel as though most makeup artists do this. I don't know if it's because people are bored of it or if it just saves time, but I didn't have a lot of time that day anyway, so it worked out that way. And now I'm just using a big fluffy brush to dust off the excess powder as I am finished baking. I'm using my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette to contour. Using the lightest shade and a Real Techniques angled brush, I'm just going to go ahead and apply that wherever I want my contour to be. Sometimes I put a little bit too much product on the brush, so you can see me sort of apply it under my cheekbones first and then go back and blend it out. I'm taking my Buxom blush and then using a stippling brush to apply it. This blush is very pigmented and a very bright color, so I use the stippling brush to lightly apply it and then build the product up to the intensity that I wanted. And for the concert, I wanted it to be pretty intense. Now, using the Anastasia Glow Kit, I'm going to use the lightest pink shade from the palette and just use that to highlight. I like to highlight my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, and right above my cupid's bow. I'm also using it to highlight the inner corner of my eye. Going back in with my Lorac Pro Matte palette, I am using the black shade and just placing it right under my eye. Taking my NYX black gel liner, I just wanted to add something fun for the concert, so I just decided to draw an upside down cross, and then I just put a few little speckles around it as well. I took some of the burgundy eyeshadow and just blended it on the inside of the cross. So I finished my hair and I changed my outfit, and then I just applied my NYX Liquid Suede in the black shade. I really enjoyed making this look. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if anyone was curious, the concert was so much fun.